Hi, fourthies. Welcome to your Thursday language lesson. I hope you did the language test yesterday on Jupiter. And if you have any questions about that, let me know. But today we're going to do something different in our language books. We're going to go to the back. We haven't done our work in the back in a while. So we're gonna touch bases with that because we have to still review, and this is a good review. So in your language books, turn to page 222. Page 222. We are just going to do lesson 51 for today. Tomorrow we'll do lesson 53. All right, thanks for turning to page 222. And for today, it says in Think A, use proofreader's marks to mark capitalization and to insert punctuation. Number 1 says, his grandfather was born on September 16 in Sharon, New York. Well, I can already see a lot of errors, and I hope you can too. You can most likely pinpoint the errors very well if you read a lot. And also if you write a lot, but more so read a lot, because at least you can recognize those rules of grammar in other works of literature. So this first one again, his grandfather was born on September 16 in Sharon, New York. I know I need to capitalize a lot of things like his. Now, grandfather doesn't need to be capitalized because I'm talking about grandfather. I'm not addressing or calling upon grandfather, so it's fine. But I do need to capitalize September. And Sharon, which happens to be a name of a city, New York. Okay. The next thing I need to do is add some punctuation marks. I know for sure I need to add a comma after 16 because it's the date, as well as after Sharon because it's the name of a city and I'm separating the name of a city from a state. And lastly, a period at the end because it's a declarative sentence. It's just a statement. Now, my fourthies, if you find that you can do this all on your own without watching the video, or if you want to do it on your own and then unpause the video, you can do that. So you can pause it right now and then unpause it, or actually pause it and then work on it on your own and then unpause it to see and compare your work to mine. Number 2, do you think, Jack, that we could play basketball this Saturday? Good question to ask a friend. So of course, I'm going to capitalize in necessary places, like at the beginning of the sentence, like do. Jack, that's the name of someone. Basketball doesn't need to be capitalized because it's the name of a sport, but it's not like the name of a team. So it's more of a common noun than a proper noun. I do need to capitalize Saturday though, because it's the name of a day. Now we go back and we add in the punctuation marks. I'm talking to Jack, so I need to put commas around Jack's name. He's in comma prison or comma trap. And I'm asking a question. I'm asking Jack if we could play basketball on Saturday. Notice when I read it, the tone of my voice went up because I'm asking a question. Do you think, Jack, that we could play basketball this Saturday? So I'm going to put a question mark at the end. All right, number 3. My mother wants to visit Long Sands Beach in York, Maine when we go on our summer vacation. Sounds like a fun place, all the way in the East Coast. So I'm going to capitalize my because it's the beginning of a sentence. Mother does not need to be capitalized because, again, I'm talking about my mother. I'm not addressing her or calling out to her. Long Sands Beach is the name of a beach. So I'm going to capitalize Long Sands Beach. York is the name of a city. And how do I know that? Because it's attached to the name of a state. Maine is a state all the way in the East Coast. It's in the area where the New England colonies used to be. Summer does not need to be capitalized because it's the name of a season. And that's it. That's all that needs to be capitalized. Now I just need to add my punctuation marks. I told you here that York is the name of a city, so I need a comma after York because I'm separating the city from the state. I also need a comma after Maine because I'm still speaking, so I need that comma there. And then since it's a declarative sentence, I'll put a period. All right. Next one, I'll use red. When I was in third grade at Grace Christian School, Mrs. A.M. Craig was my teacher. Okay, now here it should look funny that the I is not capitalized. So I'm going to capitalize the I as well as the W and when because it's at the beginning of a sentence. Third grade doesn't need to be capitalized because it's not like a special grade. So that's fine. However, Grace Christian School needs to be capitalized because it's a proper noun. It's a specific or particular name of a school. So I'm going to capitalize Grace Christian School. Sorry if that's tiny, but I hope you can tell. And then Mrs. is an abbreviation, so I need to capitalize Mrs. A, M, those are also initials, so that needs to be capitalized. That's someone's name. Craig is a name, someone's last name. Was my teacher. Teacher does not need to be capitalized. It's a common noun. Now I'll go back and I'll add the necessary punctuation marks. Let's use blue. After Mrs., I need a period because it's an abbreviation. So I hope you can see my period there. It's blue. And then when I'm initializing names like AM, A period, M period. And then since it's a declarative sentence, just a statement, I'll put a period after teacher. There you go. Last year for Easter, Mr. D.P. Reynolds taught us to sing Christ Arose. And that's a good song. The song was like this. He arose, he arose. That's all I know for now. But it's a good song. We sing it once in a while in church. So I need to capitalize, actually I'll use blue again, some areas, like the L in last. I hope you saw that. Easter is a holiday, so I need to capitalize that. Mr. here is abbreviation, so M and Mr. D, I don't know what D would stand for, but D needs to be capitalized. P needs to be capitalized, and R in Reynolds needs to be capitalized. And now at the very end, where it mentions the name of the song, Christ Arose, I'm assuming that's the name of a song because it says he taught us to sing Christ Arose. So I'm going to put capital, the 3 lines for capitalizing under Christ and under arose. Now it's time to put punctuation marks. M or Mr. needs a period because I am abbreviating Mr. You see that period? Hope you do. D period, P period. Now, Christ Arose is the name of a song. Do you remember what we do with names of songs? We either underline them or put quotation marks around them. We put quotation marks around them. All right. Excuse me. Number 6. I'll use this. I checked out a book from the Dryden Public Library called Little House in the Big Woods. Okay, again, the I looks so funny when it's not capitalized, so I'm going to capitalize the I. I checked out a book from the Dryden needs to be capitalized because it's the name of a certain library. Public library. That's the proper noun. Called, all right, now it's going to tell us what the book was called. So now this is where we have to gear up and capitalize the title. Little needs to be capitalized. House needs to be capitalized. Now, in the does not need to be capitalized because they're not so much important words in the title. So we'll leave those alone. But big woods definitely needs to be capitalized. I hope you can see that right there. Now we add our punctuation marks. I don't need to, well, Dryden Public Library is fine. I don't need to put any special punctuation marks there. However, the book itself is called Little House in the Big Woods. So since it's the name of a book, do I underline it or put quotation marks around it? I underline it. Oops, let's make that thicker. And I'll put a period. Also, I forgot for the previous one, number 5, I forgot to put a period after Christ arose. It goes inside the punctuation. There you go. Okay, how are we doing so far? I hope that's what you got if you tried it on your own. That's a good think B. Think B you can definitely try on your own. Well, I'll do the first one, and then you can pause it and do the rest. So number 1 says, Valentina and her mother planted flowers in their garden. So the direction says we have to draw a line between the subject and predicate part of the sentence and underline the verb twice and the subject once. So this is where, again, you read it out loud and you ask yourself, what is happening? And I'll put it up here in pink. What is happening? Okay. You got to ask yourself, what's the action? What's going on? Because remember, the verb is the most important part of the sentence. I like verbs. It gives me action. So again, Valentina, number one, and her mother planted flowers in their garden. What is happening? What are they doing? They're planting. So I'm going to underline planted twice because that's the verb. Who's planting? Valentina and her mother, and then I'll draw that line there. So you see, you can do the rest on your own. So you can pause it and then unpause when you're done so you can compare your work to mine. Number two, Samuel washed and waxed his family's car. So what did Samuel do? He washed and waxed. Awesome. Who washed and waxed? Samuel. And then we'll put the line right there. Number three, Hannah has never been to New York City. Oh, I hope one day she does because it's really fun. What was happening? Well, this is a case of an oh no, my friend. Oh no, my friend. The word never is an adverb because it describes the verb. Like, how often has this been happening? Never. So you don't have to underline never twice. It's not a verb. It's not a state of being verb. Who has never been to New York City? Hannah. So then I'll draw my line right here. Number four. Imani borrowed 3 books from the library and returned them on time. What's happening? What did she do? Well, she borrowed. And who borrowed? Imani. Very simple. Number 5. Josiah and Justin have joined the swim team. Oh, very good. What's happening? What did they do? What did they get to do? They have joined. So that's that car. Remember the verb phrase where we have a car and we have the driver as the state of being verb, and then the backseat person as the action verb. Who joined actually? Correct English. Well, Josiah and Justin, and we'll draw that line. So how'd you do when you tried it on your own? Very cool. Now let's go to another page. You can pause this if you need to, just to make sure you have everything right. Let's go to page 282. So I'll write it up here. Page 282. This is normally seat work. So what you can do is you can pause the video and do all of these on your own, or you can do it with me. Okay, it's like you're most likely going to pause the video if you want, and then try it, and then unpause it to check your work, or you can do it with me. So we're going to start off with lesson 53, page 282. Oh, this is easy. Again, it's like what we did earlier. What is happening, right? We've got to read the sentence and find the subject and the predicate. Every summer, my sister and I pick wild berries. What's happening? What do you guys get to do? We pick. Who picks? Sister, I, line. Number 2. Often we eat most of the berries on the spot. You don't clean them first? They might be dirty. All right, so what are they doing? Eat. There you go, eat. Who eats it? We, and then we draw our line. Our mother makes strawberry jam from our berries. Wow, that sounds like a long process. So what's happening? What are they doing? Or what is she doing? She makes. Who makes? Mother. Now draw my line. Waffles and pancakes do taste delicious with strawberry jam. Oh yeah, they do. I've had strawberry jam on my pancakes and waffles. They are yummy. So I need to, what are they doing? They do taste. This is a verb phrase. Sorry, just had to smack something. And then, what do taste delicious? Waffles and pancakes. Number 5, we are saving some jam for this winter. Oh, and that's when it's called preserves because you're saving them. So what are you doing? You are saving. Who's saving? We. We'll put our line right here. How'd you do there? Awesome. Lesson 55. Ooh, we've got to put commas in the correct places. Okay, number 1. We had a family reunion on Saturday, July 4, 2020. So I need a comma, remember, after the day, which is Saturday. Let's use purple. And then after the date, which is 4. My aunt and uncle drove from Cheyenne, Wyoming. I think it was this class where we talked a lot about Cheyenne, Wyoming, or just Wyoming in general. So Cheyenne is the capital of Wyoming. It's a city, so we need a comma after Cheyenne. Mom, did we see Old Faithful and Steamboat Geysers? I'm talking to Mom, so I need to put a comma after her name. Mom. Yes, we saw many geysers. So I think one of the rules for commas was you have to put a comma after the word yes if it's at the beginning of a sentence. So here we go. Gardner? Okay, Gardner, Montana was a fun place to have our reunion. So Gardner is the name of a city in Montana. And I need to also put a comma after Montana because it's the name of a state and I'm still speaking in the sentence. All right, very simple. How are you doing so far? Did you try some of these on your own? All right, last one. Oh, we've got to tell if a sentence is a sentence or a group of words, if it's a fragment or if it's a run-on. So this is a lot of level 5 thinking. A herd of deer was leaping across the snowy field. They looked beautiful. Ooh, I can already see where I need to put that period. This is a run-on sentence. If I needed to correct this, I need to put a period here after field. So it would say a herd of deer was leaping across the snowy field. They looked beautiful. Number 2, when they came to the fence between our yard and the neighbor's yard, what happened? When they came to the fence between our yard and the neighbor's yard, okay, I don't know what happened. They kind of left me hanging there. What happened when they came to the yard? So I'm going to put F for a fragment. The deer jumped over the fence one at a time. Sounds like a good sentence. The littlest deer was at the end of the line. Oh, that's a sentence too. He looked at the fence and it was too high and he ran around toward the end of it. Sorry, let me read that again. He looked at the fence and it was too high and he ran around the end of it. All right, so I keep saying and I shouldn't have to keep repeating the word and. So it's a run-on sentence. It's kind of like when a little kid would go, "Oh, I went to the mall and then I picked up a pair of shoes at Skechers and then I went to Pretzel Land to get pretzels." So you don't want to keep saying and. Try to make your sentences nice and short and neat. So that was all of page 282. How'd you do? Lots of review, I know, but that's good. It's good review. So I'll see you at our math lesson, the next video, and then I'll also see you at our meeting. Thank you very much, Fourthies.